Welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. I'm Timothy Gass, along with my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. We apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning of the game. We're about 4 minutes into the first period. Arizona already with a 1-0 lead over number 9, Missouri State. Ethan Stahluth with the goal. Just 17 seconds into this game, as play continues on, Arizona able to kill off a power play. Now we've got a delayed penalty on Missouri State. So Arizona gets their goaltender off the ice. Bailey Marshall with the puck into the slot. There it is, just sitting around in the slot. It goes wide, and we'll have a whistle, and Arizona will have their power play. Well, Jackson, we wondered how Arizona was going to respond in this game, and they responded very quickly in that first period.
Yeah, I think that really demonstrates that they really were ready to play the game tonight. You know, they expected to come out hard and fast. You know, to score 17 seconds into a game like this is a huge momentum builder.
So Arizona goes on the power play. We're just about 4.5 minutes into the first period.
51 Matt Matai, 2 minutes for tripping. Time to that penalty, 4 minutes, 25 seconds in the first period. Cats on a Hogan Transportation power play.
So Arizona with an early power play here in this first period, already leading 1-0. Over number 9, Missouri State. Chris Westland dug for the puck on the far side boards. But it goes into one of the benches, so we'll have a stoppage in play. 14:57 to go in the first. Arizona with a 1-0 lead.
And also don't forget, if you want to take a chance at some good cold cash this weekend, try out a Wildcat Booster Club 50/50 drawing upstairs right now.
Puck goes back to Manny Lowe at the blue line, now down low. Comes in on Stevens and pinballs around, and now out to Josh Larson, who picks it up back to Manny Rowe at the blue line, sends it down low. So Bailey Stevens getting the call in goal again. He started last night and was chased in the game. Now about 45 seconds to go in the power play for Arizona. Oh, but here's a break for Missouri State right down the slot, and a shot that goes wide.
And that's an excellent defensive play there, Tim, to ensure you don't, you know, pull the penalty there if you're the Missouri State player, you know. The guy was just able to lift the stick of that player.
Play back on with just 20 seconds to go on the power play for Arizona as they come up the ice. Back at the point is Ben Jones, sends it cross ice down to Bailey Marshall, but the Bears intercept there and come back the other way. That'll do it for the power play. The Cats just throw it down into the Missouri State end.
And you can see Missouri State's quite frustrated with that first goal that the Cats were able to score. That's not how they wanted to go into the start of this game, you know, chasing the game from the start.
Bailey Marshall throws it into the far side. Charlie James goes for it there. James not available for Arizona last night because of a fighting major on Thursday night, but he's back in the lineup tonight. The puck goes over James' stick and comes back into the Arizona zone. Cuts come back in over the line. And dig for it there. Good energy from Arizona so far early in this first period.
Yeah, lots of good energy and a lot of speed, but they're having a hard time, you know, making a lot of good zone possession so far. They've spent a lot of time in Missouri State zone, but they haven't been able to do much with it.
Play continues on as Missouri State tries to get it into the slot, sends it down into the near side corner, and Arizona digs for it there. Dawson Marshall digs for it, but it comes out to Missouri State. Now Ethan Stalyuth, already with the goal here tonight, sends it down the ice, but is intercepted by Missouri State again. They come in over the line. There's a good save there by Anthony Shuro, getting the start here in net for Arizona again, as he did in last night's win. Oh, but there's a deflection in front that luckily goes wide for Shuro. And here we got a Missouri State player taking a little bit of advantage of Manny Rowe, who skates right to the box. How could the Missouri State player not also be going to the box? He is. This might be offsetting roughing minors, as we're 8.5 minutes into this first period. Arizona with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's an interesting call there, Tim. It kind of looked like Manny Rowe was just kind of getting beat as he was laying down on the ice, so. Of a 4-on-4.
We will skate 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. We'll wait for the calls, but I'm sure that's offsetting roughing. So we'll have a face-off to the right of Anthony Shuro. Justin Plumhoff wins it for Arizona. It's always fun to see Arizona skate 4-on-4, Jackson. With more ice out there, they can use their speed.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if this is a team that would prefer to play 4-on-4 with how much speed they have. With 2 less guys on the ice, there's so much extra room.
Missouri State penalty at number 18, Chris Brown, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty at number 20, Manny Rowe, 2 minutes for holding. Both penalties at 8 minutes, 30 seconds in the first period.
So a holding and a roughing, they're all 2 minutes, so we were offsetting, still skating 4-on-4. Keelan Ulinik with the puck there briefly as the puck goes right across the crease. Arizona player goes into the goaltender there. That was not intentional. That was Justin Plumhoff. Now standing in front of the goal. No harm, no foul. Well, and now a Missouri State player comes over and messes with Justin Plumhoff. That really was an innocent play. He did come in and touch the goaltender, which is one of the cardinal sins in hockey. You don't touch the other team's goaltender. But I mean, it was really unintentional, and now a Missouri State player takes some umbrage with that, and he's going to head off for that. That's Derek Smith will go in probably for a roughing or perhaps a unsportsmanlike conduct call. We'll wait for it. But that's going to give Arizona an all-important man advantage.
Missouri State penalty number 27, Derek Smith, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of that penalty, 9 minutes, 20 seconds in the first period. And that puts your Wildcats on a Hogan transportation power play.
So the Cats with the all-important power play.
An interesting power play at that, a 4-on-3 power play. A power play we don't see too often, Tim.
Well, now there's going to be a lot of ice for Arizona as they come in over the line. It's Bailey Marshall with it. The puck tried to feather it down to Ben Jones, but it went too far. Arizona keeps it in the zone, though. Bailey Marshall with the puck. Back to the center of the ice to Jones. To the far side, Jones asking for it again. He wants to send it down low. Now it comes out to Jones and over his stick to center ice. 1:27 to go on that penalty as Bailey Marshall takes a shot that ricochets to the far side. Arizona still with the puck, though. Over to Marshall, right in the slot. Can he get a shot off? Good deflection in the middle of the ice by the Bears, but Bailey Marshall still with the puck. Looking for a shooting lane, though. Arizona still with the puck. Langelaar with the puck. Back to Bailey Marshall. He sent it down low. Now Anthony Cusinelli has it up high. Over to Langelaar. Back to Cusinelli, and that's a good spot on the ice for Anthony Cusinelli to shoot the puck from. But it comes out to center ice. We have 43 seconds to go on the power play for Arizona. Now a more conventional 5-on-4 man advantage for Arizona.
Yeah, and this is important that they keep this control that they showed during that first minute of the power play.
Play continues on. Just 19 seconds to go in the power play now for Arizona. Back to Manny Rowe at the blue line. It goes right into a Bear, and the Bears come back 2-on-1. Cats have to skate back. That's Manny Rowe. There's a deflection and a couple good saves. Their reaction saves by Anthony Shuro. That was the best break of the game so far for the Bears.
Yeah, it was, and Anthony Shuro really kept a good look on that puck. You know, some of those second and third chances when you're coming on a really fast rush like that are hard to stop, and Shuro made it look easy.
Well, we wondered about the energy level of the Arizona Wildcats in this first period, Jackson. They have good energy here in the first period.
Yeah, it looks a lot similar to the first period of the last two games we've seen here at the Tucson Arena. A lot of energy from this team, which is surprising to me considering this is the third game of the weekend for both squads.
Boy, it's so physically and mentally difficult to play that third game in 3 nights. And these have been physical games, too, for Arizona. And while Arizona's come out on top of both by wide margins, they were actually very closely contested games. None of them were laughers, even though you look at 7-1 and 6-1.
Yeah,
think that they were out of hand, but they were closely contested games.
Yeah, the scoreboard makes it look like it might have been out-of-hand games, but you're right, Tim. These were two really even matchups, in my opinion, especially with Missouri State last night. Arizona just got a few lucky rushes, you know, turned on the Jets in a few moments that led to good goals. But I thought it was a pretty even game for the majority of it.
7:25 to go in the first period. Arizona with a 1-0 lead over Missouri State. Both teams go for the change. And Jackson, do you see anything different from Missouri State so far tonight?
Yeah, one of the big things that I've seen that's been different from Missouri State here is their ability to just get the puck to the net. We didn't see that a lot last night with the good opportunities, but Missouri State's had a lot of good scoring chances. Arizona will take it back behind their own net. It's Manny Rowe who sent it to the wing. Ethan Stahlhuth. It comes out. Cats unable to get it in the zone. Turn it over in the neutral zone. The Cats having a difficult time getting into the Missouri State zone early on in this game.
Here's another good opportunity as Anthony Cusinelli digs for the puck behind the net. Comes out the far side boards now to center ice. That's Brennan Anderson with some speed for the Bears. He gets the puck poked away from Travis Barrett, and Cats come back the other way. Just send it in and on Stevens, and he covers it. That's a good play because now we'll have a face-off in the Bears zone.
Yeah, that's a real smart hockey play by Stahlhuth. You know, he didn't have many options. You know, the rest of his line mates were going for the change up. So it's a smart idea, just throw it on it and see what happens. You know, sometimes those are the goals that are really good to get because you don't expect them. You know, the puck can bounce in weird ways. But the best case scenario is what just happened. Cover the puck and you get a face-off in the offensive zone.
6:23 to go in the first period. Arizona with a 1-0 lead. Now this is interesting, Jackson, because they've kind of dominated this first period, but it's just a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, this can change real quickly, especially if Missouri State gets a lucky bounce here. They'll get right back in this, especially, you know, in that first 15 seconds to get a goal. That really changes the momentum. So if Missouri State can get a goal in this first period, I think they'll be pretty confident.
Backhand attempt by Josh Larson, who's been skating so well for Arizona. And he's digging for it again, and he is taken down by a couple Bears. Oh, you can tell the emotions are running very high here tonight. As there's a big pileup in front of Stevens there. Well, let's see how they sort this out and call it. You can absolutely tell that the emotions are running high already here.
Yeah, especially, you know, there was no big hit that led to that. That just kind of started in front of the net. So you can tell that this Missouri State team is really frustrated and they have a lot of emotion right now. You know, they don't want to repeat of last night. They want to walk out of here tonight with a W.
So it's Pucks for Paws night. Lots of dogs here in the arena with their people. It's great to see. We want to give them something to howl about. Last year, at least, there were stickers that said it's a night for your dog to cheer for your cats. Because, of course, we're Arizona Wildcats. But there's a lot of dogs in the building cheering for the Cats.
Yeah, one of my favorite promotional nights, Tim, along with the teddy bear toss of last night. So a good promotional weekend. And like you've talked about, you know, the University of Arizona hockey team has such an excellent community service program. They do so many great things in the Tucson community.
And this is a fundraiser for the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. So last night was the teddy bear toss for children in need. And now they're sorting out the penalties. 5:50 to go in the first.
And it looks like there's 2 Missouri State players in the box and just 1 Wildcat. So we'll have to see if the Wildcat's going to walk out of this with another power play. So we'll have to wait for the call. The officials discussing it with the captains of each squad.
Well, as they still try to figure out what to call here, I gotta believe that Arizona's going to come out with a power play here.
You would think so, Tim, but this is that one official system or one referee system that Coach Furman uses, and I think this is one of the disadvantages of it. Is you get situations like this where there's 7 or 8 guys involved in a scrum, and it's really hard for one official to sort all that out because the linesmen, that's not their job, that's the referee's job. So looks like we got it sorted out here.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where another set of eyes, when there's a big scrum and lots of stuff happening, would have been worthwhile. But see what we end up with on the boards here with just 5:50 to go in the first.
And there's another Missouri State player going into the box. Coach Berman not too happy with the face-off placement.
He's barking about where this face-off is. He thinks it should be inside the Missouri State zone. And I don't know why it isn't. Why would this face-off be outside the zone unless these are, even if it's offsetting penalties, but Arizona does have a man advantage here. The penalty was on Missouri State. Why wasn't that face-off inside the Bear zone?
I wish I had an answer for you, Tim, but that should be a face-off inside Missouri State zone there.
I know you're not in charge of where that face-off was supposed to be, Jackson, so it was a rhetorical question.
Missouri State penalty, number 61, Carson Warnick. A double minor for roughing, 4 minutes. Missouri State penalty on number 27, Derek Smith, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 25, Trey Decker, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 6, Josh Larson, 2 minutes for roughing. All penalties at 14 minutes, 10 seconds of the first period.
So, that's a whole lot of penalties. And it turns into minute and 35 minute and 25 left of a power play for the University of Arizona, already with a 1-0 lead. Goes back to Ben Jones. Tries to throw it down in front, but it deflects to the near side, or the far side rather, and all the way back down the ice.
And this power play we've seen over the past 2 games by the Wildcats has just been superb. We haven't seen them move the puck so well on the power play in as long as I can remember. So their power play last night and tonight has been so good. They haven't capitalized on it yet tonight, but I think they're going to get a couple opportunities too.
Just as you say that, Anthony Cusinelli, that either went off the post or off the glove right near the post. That was so close to being the second goal for the Arizona Wildcats. With just 45 seconds to go now in the power play, Jones has it. Gives it to Cusinelli. It deflects to Marshall. Not a bad player to deflect to. Back to Jones. He just sends it on goal, and Stevens puts out a pad there. Bailey Stevens has some sweet-looking pads, we have to say, goaltender pads that has the Missouri State Bear logo split between the 2 pads. I like goaltenders and goaltenders gear, and he's got a sweet setup going there.
Yeah, he does. That's always a fun thing for goalies to express themselves. If you're a hockey player, you've been around him, you know goalies are interesting guys, and one thing that they can do is use their pads to express themselves.
Okay,
so.
you're going to define interesting in the context of a goaltender here, as the penalty is now over and we're back at full strength. And the puck comes all the way down. Manny Rose going to dig for it there. It's not going to go far enough for icing. It's waved off, and we continue on. Goaltenders are interesting people. They are unique in the hockey world. They have unique personalities, and they do like to express themselves through their gear. Now, it's interesting. Bailey Stevens doesn't have a very extensive painted mask or anything else, but he's got some sweet pads.
Yeah, he does. He kept it a little simple, nice logo, and he's a good goaltender. We saw it last night. I don't think the score reflected his ability coming into last night. He had a 1.9 goals against average and a .934 save percentage, so he's a talented goaltender.
Play continues on. Just 2:55 to go in the first period.
And it was the breakouts of last night that we talked about a lot. There's a turnover caused by a poor breakout by the Cats. Just squirts outside. Cats able to recover the puck, get it out of the zone. It'll force a 2-on-1. That's Devin Langelaar on the side. Tries to get it cross ice to Villar's zone, but can't. But I think the story last night, and it looks like it's going to be the same here tonight, Tim, is the breakout of each team. They're both having a little difficulty getting out of their zone with control.
Well, and we'll have a whistle and another faceoff. Just 2:13 to go in this first period now. Arizona with a 1-0 lead. Oh, and as it's being announced here, remember, 2 weeks from tonight, or actually from last night, Friday and Saturday, November 30th and December 1st, Arizona State University is in town. And if there's one thing University of Arizona Wildcat fans like, it's beating the Sun Devils from Arizona State. So that'll be November 30th, Friday, and Saturday, December 1st, Arizona State here in town. Arizona already has a couple of victories against ASU this year. And here we're going to have a cross-check on Arizona. So Missouri State's going to go on the power play for all but 2 seconds of the first period. That's Ben Jones, freshman who's played so well in these last 2 games, goes to the box for a cross-check. Well, here's a prime opportunity for the Missouri State Bears.
Yeah, and for Ben Jones, I think he's especially lucky because I think that could have been called a hit from behind. The player he hit, the Missouri State player, turned at the last second, so that's a call you have to make as an official, and unfortunately for Ben Jones, it puts him in the box.
Number 17, Ben Jones, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of that penalty, 17 minutes, 58 seconds.
In the first period.
So Jones in the box for the remainder except for 2 seconds. If the power play goes the entire distance of the first period, Arizona nursing that 1-0 lead. Missouri State can get right back in it.
And a goal here would certainly build up the momentum. They want to, get that first goal back and tie this game up as quick as possible. And if they can do it before intermission, that'll give them a lot of confidence in the next period.
So Arizona able to get the puck out of the zone. Just 1:20 to go in the first period. I'm Timothy Gasson along with my broadcast partner Jackson Peters. And this is the rubber match of number 11 Arizona and number 9 Missouri State. Arizona scoring just a few seconds into the first period. That was Ethan Stalyuth with the goal. As we have a minute to go in the period, Arizona, can they get it out of the zone? Oh, they don't. It stays on the blue line. It stays in, but now they're able to get the puck down the ice. Arizona has played very well here, Jackson, in the first period. And as we have mentioned, if Arizona wins this game, they can propel themselves into first place of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. This is a huge game with implications that'll go throughout the second semester.
Yeah, easily the biggest game that this Wildcat squad has played thus far into the season. We talk about how important those ASU games are to the team. This is such an important game. Even though this isn't a huge rivalry, it's only been a rival for about a year now. This is a really important game that could really, turn this team into an elite team.
Boy, there's a headhunter shot that goes over the net. I don't think Shiro even saw it, but it does go over the net as the puck squirts wide in the near side corner now. 10 seconds to go into the period. Arizona is able to get the puck down the ice. I think that's going to kill the period. 2 seconds, 1, and that will do it. Arizona is going to leave the first period of play here against number 9 Missouri State with a 1-0 lead over the Missouri State Bears.
State with 7, Arizona with 10.
So shots on goal, 10 for the University of Arizona, 7 for Missouri State. And Arizona has the most important stat of all. They have a 1-0 lead. I gotta believe that Coach Berman is gonna be pretty happy as we have, it's Pucks for Paws night. And so you heard some of our paws, I think, in the background there. I think Coach Berman is gonna be barking his approval of that first period of play.
Yeah, he does. But we talk to him a lot after games. You know, Coach Berman is a coach who always thinks that there's something you can improve on, and I think there's a lot that they can improve on what they did in that first period. I think they really can work on their breakout. They need to make sure that they can get the puck out of their zone with speed. And I think the same is going to be said in the Missouri State locker room. Neither team really having a lot of control exiting their own zone.
Well, it's fascinating because Arizona had a very good period, but they're just up 1-0. We talked about, even though it was a 6-1 decision for Arizona last night, it was actually a very evenly played game. This was a very evenly played first period. Arizona with the 1-0 lead. So in our intermission, we'll show Wildcat highlight videos and interviews and everything to do with Arizona Wildcat hockey. Then we'll come back for the second period of play between number 11 Arizona and number 9 Missouri State. We understand there have been some technical difficulties here in this first period with our broadcast. If you're just now able to see us, we hope to bring you uninterrupted the second and third period of play. So after one period of play, it's Arizona 1, Missouri State nothing. We'll be back in a few minutes with the second period of play. You're watching University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey.
Wildcat Hockey is back home. Save up to 20% with UofA Hockey's new FlexPack options, with access of up to 12 UA games this season.
Your Arizona Wildcats.
Don't miss out. FlexPack tickets are available at TCC box office or call in 791-4101. That's 791-4101. Supporting a UA hockey team just got easier with our new FlexPack ticket plans. For more information, please visit ArizonaWildcatHockey.org.
I'm Timothy Gasson. They call me the AZ Puck Man. I've been following hockey at the University of Arizona for more than 30 years. And this is my Wildcat Hockey Report. The Arizona Wildcats recently played an exhibition game against the NHL alumni team. NHL broadcaster Tom Callahan caught up with some of the major leaguers as they prepared for the game at the Tucson Arena.
Joined right now by Nate Schoenfeld as we're talking to members of the NHL alumni squad in town to play the University of Arizona Wildcats. And Nate, first of all, thanks for taking the time to join us. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's fun to be down here.
Well, so you're a goaltender, and you have a dad who is an NHL defenseman for several seasons.
Yep.
How did you end up between the pipes?
Yeah, I don't know how it really worked out. I think I was the youngest of 4 kids, and so they needed a goalie, and that was the easiest way for me to get into the game. And so I jumped in there and had fun with it and just stuck with it.
What was that like for you growing up to have a dad who was playing NHL hockey?
Yeah, I mean, it was neat. He retired when I was about 2, so I didn't really get to see him too much when he got into coaching right away. And so it was fun as a kid. You know, we were around the locker room, around the players. You see that experience, and you don't really understand how special it was till later on you look back. And it really was amazing to be around those guys in the locker rooms at a young age.
So now you also have an NHL story of your own. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, you know, it kind of fell into my lap. I skate with the Coyotes during the summertime, and a few years ago they said they needed an emergency goalie in case anything happened. I said, yeah, why not? It's never really going to happen, but I'll add my name to the list. But sure enough, halfway through the season, you know, one of the backups got injured right before the game. So they gave me a call. I rushed down just in time to walk out on the ice, sit on the bench, and watch the game from ice level.
I imagine that must have been probably the best seat in the house. Couldn't be better.
Oh, yeah. It was unbelievable. I was a little nervous, got out to the bench, sat down. They got a few early goals, relaxed from there, and it was a blast.
All right. Well, Nate, thanks for joining us. We appreciate the time.
Definitely my pleasure.
Yeah, your suitcase had a lot of stamps on it. You've been to a bunch of different places. Yeah. What's it like? I mean, maybe not the typical career path people might think of, but, I mean, you've played hockey all over the world.
Yeah. I've been lucky and fortunate to play at a lot of different levels, and 19 years, it was 13 different countries and 13 different leagues, so it's for sure a suitcase. But lot of good experiences, and you meet a lot of people, and even just now being down here, I've met a lot of the people that are playing for our team here tonight. So it's a good way to reconnect with people and share some stories of some experiences and a good time.
Is there any one particular favorite place that you played? I know it might be hard to pick.
Well, obviously everybody dreams the NHL, so that was a big thrill for me. But no, I liked. I was just telling Z and some of these guys that Switzerland was a lot of fun, playing in beautiful places like that, and Germany, Austria was fun, and some good stories from Russia, obviously. But just the experience of living in different countries and playing the sport you love was a big thrill for me. So I was very fortunate.
Does that help you relate maybe to kids who are from different corners of the globe because you have that experience?
Yeah, I think so. You're able to recognize where they say they're from, and have shared experiences in these different cities, and understand maybe the different paths that take them to the NHL and some of the cities that they've played in. And so it's having had played in all those different countries definitely gives you an appreciation for hockey and from the different countries that you're able to visit.
All right, Jeff, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, we're here with Zbynek McCulloch, a guy very familiar to not only Arizona Coyotes fans, but also Tucson Roadrunners fans. Played a couple of games in this building, and, well, Z, now you've settled in the Phoenix area. First of all, welcome back to Tucson. It's good to have you.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to being here.
And let's talk a little bit about what you've done since you've left hockey now. I know that you're back in the Phoenix area, and what's life like for you?
Oh, it's good. Just catching up on some stuff I wasn't able to when I was playing. Being away from kids, playing hockey. It's not easy. So now I'm just enjoying being a dad and actually spending some quality time with my kids and taking them, to the school every day and to their activities, and just trying to enjoy that.
When you think back on your time in Arizona playing pro hockey here, what was that like for you?
Oh, it was really fun. It's a nice place to play hockey and to live and raise family. And I had great experiences playing in both Phoenix and here in Tucson. Fans were always great to me, and I have a lot of made a lot of good friends and a lot of good memories over the years.
Obviously, it meant a lot to you that you came back, you settled in this area. Is that really what drew you back, the experience of being here?
Yeah, definitely. And, it's like I said, it's a great place to live, and a lot of nice people, I met along the way, and been fortunate in that. And, so it's a great place to live, and we enjoy it. Our kids, have a lot of friends in Phoenix area, and, it's really nice, and it's hard to beat the weather, right? And it's always sunny.
Absolutely. Well, Z, thank you so much for the time. Great to have you back.
Okay, thank you.
Hello Wildcat fans, I'm Chad Berman, head coach of Arizona Hockey. I'm inviting you out for our annual Pink the Rink event. You could buy one of these jerseys and put the name of any loved one you want on the back. All proceeds go directly to the University of Arizona Cancer Center. Help us put cancer in the penalty box.
Longtime Arizona hockey fans might remember that I was the media director for the team for the first time in the late 1990s, and I found a recruiting video that I made for the team in the year 2000. Now, in the 1980s and 1990s, as college hockey got more popular, it was common for colleges to put the word ice in front of their nickname. So Arizona State were the Ice Devils, and Arizona were the Ice Cats, and that's the name that you'll see in this recruiting video, which was made a full 10 years before Arizona adopted their regular Wildcat nickname. So let's get in the time machine and go back to the year 2000 and see this Arizona hockey recruiting video. Located in central Tucson on 352 acres, the University of Arizona is one of the top-ranked universities in the nation. Surrounded by soaring mountains in the Sonoran Desert, the campus boasts lush lawns, palm trees, and more than 300 days of sunshine each year. More than 35,000 undergraduate and graduate students attend the UofA, coming from all 50 states and more than 100 foreign countries. Arizona also has one of the most successful collegiate men's ice hockey programs in the United States, the Arizona Ice Cats.
It's a new season, a new century. But you still can't beat this cat. It's the 21st season of Arizona Ice Cat College Hockey. 18 home games at the TCC with 4 matchups against arch rival ASU.
The Arizona Ice Cats compete in Division I of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, the ACHA. All home games are played in the 7,000-seat Tucson Convention Center near the UofA campus. More than 1 million fans have packed the TCC over the years to watch Arizona IceCat hockey. That's an average of 5,000 fans a game, making the IceCats one of the top 5 draws in the U.S. for collegiate hockey at any level. Paul, for those who haven't seen what it's like to have 7,000 people at the Tucson Convention Center to cheer for the Arizona IceCats against a team like arch rival ASU, for instance, can you tell them what kind of madhouse it is to see the IceCats play in front of 7,000 home fans?
Well, it's dubbed the Madhouse on Main Street here at the TCC, and when you come in, even if you come in for a game where we'll play a St. Louis University or something, you know, that's not a big rival of ours, we're still going to have 4,000, 5,000 people in the stands, you know, screaming your name. You get to see signs with your name on it. It's uncomparable to anything I've ever had before I got here. The biggest crowd I ever played in front of was maybe 400 or 500 people in high school, a big high school rivalry.
I'm sure you were told there were 6,000 or 7,000 people for some of the games here at Arizona, but were you still surprised when you walked out onto the ice the first time in front of that many people?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's one thing being able to sit in the stands with the 6,000 people and watching, you know, the team play. It's one thing. Another thing, step on the ice in front of that many people, and it's just nuts. It's you know, the crowd's screaming. You know, you're the home team, and you know, you got your arch rival ASU down there, and just to be able to play in front of that crowd, it's pretty nerve-wracking your first time out.
It is the most exciting feeling there is against Arizona State to score a big goal. I can't explain it. You get jumped on by your players. I mean, 7,000 fans cheering for you. It was a great experience. It happened to me last year twice, 2 games in a row, and it was just the greatest feeling of the year by far.
In this ACHA, you've got Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Dearborn, on and on, Iowa State. I mean, we're talking about some of the biggest hockey colleges in the country, which we play. We have a graduation rate that is far better than any other sport on the University of Arizona campus. And needless to say, they got to be an excellent hockey player. We have young men that comes out of junior A's. We've had some that come down from Division I, quote-unquote big schools, which we play anyway, but they much play here in front of 6,800 people than play in front of 1,000. There is, I guarantee you, not a fan in the country that matches our fans when it comes to making noise, bar no place in the country.
Founded in 1979, the IceCats' numbers are staggering. More than 400 wins, a record 18 consecutive national tournament appearances, 8 Final Four appearances, and the 1985 National Collegiate Club Championship. Mark, talk about the travel that this team takes, because many teams will play just their closest neighbors, but the Arizona IceCats fly all over the country to play games. Talk about the opportunities you have to play the best teams in the country.
We go on road trips all the time during the year. I mean, they're a lot of fun. We go all to Penn State, make it down to Chicago, out in the Midwest, California. We travel all over. We just get to play the best competition.
Are you glad you came to Tucson, Arizona, attend the University of Arizona, and play for the Arizona IceCats?
Oh, definitely. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made. You get to wear sandals and shorts to the rink every day and have fun playing hockey, and the school itself's a great school to go to.
You walk into this building on an ASU night, I mean, it feels different. Everybody feels it, from the fans to, you know, the media, down to the coaching staff. Beating these guys, you know, a couple more times, so I don't think that anything could really beat that.
And the Wildcats will secure the Cactus Cup.
There's a shot to goal. Arizona takes the lead.
That is all Jake Dickinson. He's wheeling and dealing. That's my player of the game, Tim. Easy.
your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now.
Welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. I'm Tim DeGasson along with my broadcast partner Jackson Peters. And Jackson, we have one period of play in the books with Arizona with a 1-0 lead. Again, we apologize to our viewers. We had technical difficulties there in the first period and joined the action in progress. So we missed the goal by Ethan Stalyuth just 17 seconds into the game. A well-played first period. We were wondering what kind of energy Arizona would come out in that first period, Jackson, after playing so well last night. Well, we needn't worry. Arizona played a good period of hockey.
Yeah, and I'm shocked to say the least, Tim. Both of these teams came out flying, and we've said it time and time again about tonight. This is the third game for both teams on the weekend, and a lot of times you don't expect both teams to come out with as much energy as they both did tonight in their third game of the weekend. So we'll have to see if that's something that'll continue through this game, or, as we approach the third period, of, the speed of this game starts to slow down.
I think that kind of speaks to the importance of this game. Both teams know this one game is going to be so important to have implications not only for the rest of this semester, but for the rest of the season. If Missouri State drops this game, they'll drop behind even further behind Arizona in the standings. If Arizona wins this game, they could draw into a tie for first place with the University of Central Oklahoma. And with just 2 more games to go in league play for Arizona, and that's against Arizona State, November 30th, Friday, and December 1st, this Saturday. Boy, it sets Arizona up to end the semester on a real upswing in first or second place in the league.
Yeah, there's not much more you can ask for if you're this Wildcat hockey team, to be in a position where you're set up to do that. It's a real excellent thing for them. They've worked so hard early on in this season to put themselves in this position. This didn't happen by accident. Coach Berman and his squad has been working so hard. Remember, they got that late start. The building wasn't ready. They had a problem with the ice. So they had a later start than the rest of the teams did to start practicing. So for them to have such a successful season so far, they're 13-3. They've done an excellent job.
Well, they sure have. And we saw Arizona really come on late in the first semester last year, securing the Cactus Cup here on home ice. Now, they can't secure the Cactus Cup on home ice to end this first semester, but they can have 2 big games against ASU.
Yeah, and those 2 big games are going to be real important, but the big thing that this team needs to focus on, and we saw it a little bit last year, is that Cactus Cup, is not the ultimate goal of this team. Of course, you want to win the Cactus Cup, beat ASU, beat your ultimate rival of this team, but, this team has bigger aspirations than just win the Cactus Cup. They really want to make an impact at Nationals, and I've talked a lot about that with head coach Chad Berman. And Chad, he says a lot that, they want to turn this program into a national championship winning program. They want to make something out of this program, turn it into a dynasty kind of program that can always compete every year at the national championship and really make a good run deep in there. We saw them get to the second round last year, losing to Minot State. They defeated this same Missouri State last year, eliminated them in the first round. And we could see some of that rivalry started there, which led to a lot of the energy we see here. This Missouri State team definitely does not like the University of Arizona, to say the least, as they'll get ready for a second period of hockey here. The Cats surely looking to carry on the same energy they had in the first period and last night's game. Both teams surely, both teams have an opportunity to seize this game. Missouri State's only down by 1 goal. The University of Arizona hasn't had a lot of good chances since their first goal. Good opportunities, not a good looks.
Play back on in the second period. Missouri State comes right over the blue line. In on Shuro, who kicks it off to the far side. Ethan Stahluth with the goal here tonight gets it to center ice. And now over the blue line. Here comes Missouri State back 2-on-2 with an early chance. But Bailey Marshall comes up with the puck. Marshall with the puck behind his own net to Keelan Ulnick, who tries a long headman pass to Cusinelli, but it comes right back in on Anthony Shuro. The Bears coming out with a little bit of speed here to start this second period.
Yeah, they are, and you can see the Cats in a few situations, especially those one-on-one battles in the corner early on in this period. There's a lot of still feet, not a lot of players on either side moving their feet constantly. I think that's part of that tiredness that's starting to set in here.
Here's a big hit behind the Missouri State goal as Arizona comes away with the puck. Can they get it up to Ben Jones at the point? He sends it in, deflects wide. And the Bears get it to center ice. Just underway here in the second period. Number 11, Arizona with a 1-0 lead over number 9, Missouri State, looking for the sweep. It would be a huge sweep. And undoubtedly, Arizona would go up to its highest position again in the Coach Chad Berman era here at Arizona. He's in his 5th year as head coach of Arizona. Right now at number 11, this is the highest that the Cats have been in his tenure. For sure, if they would win this game, they most assuredly would go up the computer rankings even further.
Yeah, and Tim, I know neither of us totally understand the reasoning behind the computer rankings of the ACHA, but without a doubt, you can say if they win 2 games against a Missouri State team that's ranked 2 positions higher than them, that without a doubt in the next ranking that comes out in the ACHA Division I rankings, that they will move up a few spots.
Well, you're right. The ACHA rankings are mysterious. Arizona last weekend played 3 Division II teams, and we didn't think with all the other games going around that would affect Arizona's rankings much. They went up 3 spots from number 14 to number 11.
We'll always just kind of try and hope for the best with these rankings. We never know exactly what's going to happen. But I think this is one of those few instances where you can say, if they win all 3 games on this weekend, 2 games against a team that's ranked higher than them, they'll move up in the standings.
I think that is logical, but we would have to wait and see. Well, there's a lot of hockey to go before the Cats can crow about sweeping the Missouri Bears, as we're just starting the second period of play here. 2.5 minutes into the first period, Arizona with a 1-0 lead over Missouri State. Both teams being just a little bit cautious here to start the period, Jackson, knowing that all-important second goal, whoever scores it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, and Missouri State's doing a great job of shutting down Arizona when they're trying to enter their zone. They're not letting anything come in clean and with a lot of speed. I think they're starting to recognize, the vast amount of speed that this Wildcat squad has.
Play continues on as the puck squirts to the near side boards, now out to center ice. Carson Warnig collects it there for the Bears and throws it in behind Anthony Shuro. A Bear actually digs it out there, or digs for it behind Shuro. Comes out the far side. Just 3.5 minutes into this first period. Missouri State coming on as the puck deflects right behind the goal. That was very dangerous. That's Hunter Saunders doing a good job digging for the puck there for the Missouri State Bears.
Missouri State doing an excellent job of winning these one-on-one battles.
That's a good whistle. There's nothing good that was going to happen from scrumming it up on the far side boards there. And Missouri State gets their job done. They'll have a face-off in the Arizona zone. We're 3:45 into the second period. And just like last night, a very evenly played game. Just so happens that Arizona is the team with the goal.
Yeah, I think that goal by Ethan Stallhuth kind of caught Missouri State off guard. I don't think they were ready for such a fast play right off the whistle. I mean, that was just 17 seconds into the game. He was able to beat Bailey Stevens with a nice snipe, but I don't think they were ready, and I think Missouri State's really recognizing that they can beat a lot of these Wildcat players to pucks. And hockey is a game of these little, tiny battles, and those one-on-one battles are huge, and the Cats have to start doing a better job of racing to that puck and winning those one-on-one battles in the corner and along the wall. So it'll be a face-off in the Cat zone.
Face-off won by Arizona. Manny Rowe with the puck behind his net, sends it up the near side boards. Anthony Cusinelli did not get that out of the zone. Missouri State keeps the pressure in. Travis Barrett sends it down low. Can they get the puck out in front? Well, it squirts out in front. Thrown into the slot dangerously. Now it comes out to Cusinelli. 1-on-2 coming over the blue line. Cusinelli now with Marshall, but the puck can't get to Marshall, who's the two leading scorers for Arizona, but they couldn't quite connect there. Manny Rowe with the puck sends it back to the blue line. Now Keelan Ulnick, who we've mentioned a whole lot, as Josh Larson sends that puck. That was a nice, quick shot by Larson that went wide. As the Bears look to break over the blue line, but go for a partial change instead. Ben Jones is taken down, no call. And the puck goes behind the Arizona net. Some real physical battles now going one-on-one between these two teams, Jackson.
Yeah, this game's turning really physical, and I think that's just each team recognizing that both guys are tired. You know, everybody out here is tired, so the more you can put the body on, the more tired these guys are going to be. Offsides there for Missouri State. They're doing an excellent job of breaking out of the zone early on in this second period. The Cats need to start copying that. But the big thing that both teams need to recognize here is they got to keep that speed moving out of the zone. Neither team having a lot of control with their breakout. We saw last night that was what led to a majority of the Wildcat goals.
Cats do get it to their own blue line there. And now break in. Can they get a shot on goal? Big pile up in front as Jake Dickinson couldn't get his stick on the puck, but boy, that's called crashing the net, Jackson.
Yeah, that's exactly what this team wants to do. They want to send the puck to the net and, you know, get F2 and F3, the second and third forwards, you know, crashing the net, hopefully looking for that rebound that they can just tap in.
On the other end, Anthony Shuro gobbles up the puck, and so we'll have a face-off 6 minutes into the second period. Boy, you can feel the intensity between these two teams.
Yeah, you can really start to see, you know, things heating up here. We saw it get a little intense last night, and I expect it to happen again here tonight. It's just a matter of when.
So we'll have a face-off to the left of Anthony Shuro. Played so well last night. Bailey Stevens playing well here tonight. Gave up that very early goal. That can't help his confidence after he was pulled in the game last night.
No, it doesn't. If you're a goaltender, that first game back after getting pulled is a difficult one. You want to prove that, you know, you're the goaltender that your coach should be going to, you know, the one that should start the majority of your games. So I know Bailey Stevens has got that on his mind. He wants to prove himself here tonight.
But a good coaching move, you know, give up a goal in that first 17 seconds. It didn't seem that Jeremy Law, head coach of Missouri State, even blinked. They just continued on, and he has settled into the game. Sometimes in that first minute, you can give up a weird goal on the first shot. That's what happens to Stevens, but he's played solid since then.
Yeah, it might be kind of a wake-up call, too, for both the team and Stevens. You know, let that first goal in, you know, realize that this team is going to come full throttle. You can't let up at all if you want to be in this game.
Cat's able to keep the puck in the zone briefly, but comes out now to center. Arizona chips it right to the blue line, and that's where Dawson Marshall, brother of Bailey Marshall, throws it in. Charlie James getting some more ice time here after not playing last night.
And that was a big late hit. I'm surprised that wasn't called there.
On Charlie James, yeah. Charlie James goes, he's hurting a little bit, and he got to the bench. Let's see if he goes to the end of the bench and has someone look at him. That was a late hit. The puck was well gone.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that the referee didn't stop the play there and call a penalty.
This is one of those, if you have two referees, you probably see that penalty. But it wasn't called. Only one referee. Play continues.
Yeah, that's one of those downsets. You know, sometimes if you're the one making the hit, you're lucky to get away with that. But if it's on you, you're upset that, you know, that's not a call.
Puck comes off of Shuro, and he sees it and controls that rebound. Anthony Shuro does such a good job of controlling those rebounds. Such a calm, cool, collected kind of a goaltender. I know we say that a lot, but you and I have been around goaltenders who can be very nervous types or more outgoing types. Anthony Shuro, very quiet, confident goaltender.
Yeah, it's a real consistent goaltender too. You know, sometimes you see goaltenders that get scored on, kind of changes their feel for the rest of the game. Anthony Shuro's a goaltender that if he gets scored on, he can kind of just brush it off.
Ulnick sends the puck up the boards, but not out. Luckily, a Cat picks it up and comes back the other way. That's Bailey Marshall, but he gives up the puck right at the blue line. He was trying to connect with Ethan Stallhuth. Missouri State looking a little bit faster than Arizona right now on their skates. They're skating a little bit better. Manny Rowe digging for the puck in the far side corner. Bailey Marshall digging for it there, but it comes right out to the slot and wide of Arizona. What a weird rebound off the end boards, and Anthony Shuro makes a great save there. That went off the end boards and bounced right out into the slot, and Shuro caught that with a glove. That's an incredible save.
That is something I've never seen in all my time watching hockey.
He was faced toward the end boards, put his glove up and made the save.
And that just shows you how calm of a goaltender Anthony Shuro is. He tracked that puck all the way, realized it was bouncing off the wall, and he made that save like it was any other shot coming straight at him. He didn't make a big deal about that at all, and here he is, calm, acts like nothing happened, just another save for him.
I'm trying to think about another time when I've seen a goaltender facing toward the goal make a save with his glove. Facing the goal as if he's a shooter and picking off that glove as it was going right into the slot. That's a great play by Anthony Shuro. That might be our play of the game so far. As Josh Larson pokes the puck down low, Justin Plumhoff, who also has been skating really, really well these past few games. Plumhoff, Stallhuth, really skating well for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, you can see, Tim, that guys like Plumhoff and Stallhuth, they're just, you know, there's some kind of energy amongst this team that makes everybody want to work so hard. You know, that's got to be a locker room thing. You see the guy to your left working hard, the guy to your right. Makes you want to, too.
Ooh, there's a giveaway in the zone as the puck dribbles wide, luckily for Arizona. Now it's up the far side boards, but sent right back in very dangerously off of Shuro. Good idea by the Bears there just to send it towards the goal and see what happens. And the puck comes back to center ice, and everyone will have to regroup. We're almost halfway home in this game. This is anyone's game still, just a 1-0 lead for number 11 Arizona over number 9 Missouri State. There's an attempt at a centering pass, but you're not going to have a whole lot of luck with that kind of pass going back toward the blue line with several defenders in between, and instead the Bears come back in on Arizona. Picked up now by Langelar, one of the fine freshman skaters on this Wildcat squad. And the puck is given up, and it's coming right back at Arizona.
And that was a real dangerous pass. Tim sent it to a forward with his backup ice. That's not only how players get hurt, that's how you lose the puck.
Anthony Shuro bailing out the Wildcats here, and they send it down. Is this going to go far enough for an ice? It does. And that's Arizona kind of running around a little bit in their own end right now.
Yeah, I think they got caught watching there. They couldn't get a hold of the puck, and that's when it gets real dangerous. So luckily for them, I think an icing here isn't the worst thing that could happen. It slows down the game. You know, you can't get a change up, but Missouri State didn't go for the change either. So it gives them a chance to reset and try and calm themselves down and try not to run around.
Well, we're more than halfway gone now in this game. 9:55 to go in the game. In the second period, rather. We're halfway through the game. Now 9:50 to go in the second period. Arizona with a 1-0 lead over Missouri State. And you just get the idea. Either team's going to need a couple more goals here to win this game.
Yeah, I don't think one goal is going to be enough for this Wildcat hockey team to win. Missouri State, you know, they only put up one goal last night, but they've had so many good looks in this game, especially in the second period. They've had so many great opportunities that I think, you know, that they're going to be able to score one here soon enough. So if the Wildcats want to ensure that they'll win this game, they're going to need a lot more than one goal.
Yeah, we're not trying to hex Anthony Shuro by saying he's going to give up goals, but when you look up and down the stats for this Missouri State squad, they have a lot of offensive talent on that roster. They have to be feeling a little frustrated at this point. Through 1.5 games here in Tucson, they've only scored one goal.
Yeah, and we talk about how good of a team they are on the road. Last night was Missouri State's first loss in regulation on the road, so that's got to frustrate them, especially when you look at some of the scores of those games, you know, 5 or 6 goal, you know, differentials that they win by. So, I mean, that's a big thing for Missouri State to have to change.
Your hockey team, your Cactus Cup champions, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. See your Wildcats take on Arizona State November 30th and December 1st, and more at the Tucson Arena. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now. Face off to the left of Bailey Stevens. Sasha Perron was thrown out of the circle. Now the linesman's talking to the bearer who takes his place, trying to explain to him, you're the road team, when to put your stick down. That's a fascinating little insight into a linesman world, wasn't it?
Yeah, sometimes we don't think that the referees, you know, are chatting with the players, but I think they chat just as often as players do with other players.
And you could almost hear the linesman say, now listen, son, this is how we're going to do the face-off. Keelan Ulinik tries to send it down low, but it comes right back to the blue line. He keeps it in. Almost a nice tip there in front by Charlie James. James chases after the puck. I think he's at the end of his shift, and he heads to the bench. Always good to see Charlie James out there because he's an energy guy. You know the bench loves to see him and his energy on the ice.
Yeah, whether it's a big hit, you know, whatever he does out there, he always gets his team going.
Charlie James, one of the seniors, I think the only senior on this Wildcat squad, getting some ice time here tonight. Cats come over the line. That's Max Meyer. He took an elbow up a little high there. No call. Play continues on. There have not been a lot of penalties called here, except when we've had some scrums in front of goaltenders after a frozen puck.
Yeah, that seems to be the only time that the refs want to, you know, call a penalty. But I think there's a couple times for both teams that they got away with one. You're right, Tim. Not a lot of calls.
Well, you're right. There's been a lot that just play on, no harm, no foul. But also some stuff behind the puck or away from the puck that when you only have one referee, you don't see.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the no calls have to do with this is a one-goal game. Neither team wants to allow the other to have a man advantage, so I think they're trying to play really disciplined here.
Boy, you just get the idea if Arizona can get the second goal, they're going to break this game open. They have a bit of a frustrated Missouri State Bears squad here at the moment. While if Missouri State gets that equalizer, well, the energy level for them is just going to go off the charts.
Yeah, especially with how tense this game has been. I mean, it's a one-goal game from the first 17 seconds.
Jake Dickinson comes in. Oh, and he got a nice shot off, but Stevens held his ground and made a nice save. Really sweet move there by Dickinson, but we remain one-on-one, and here's the counterpunch as Shuro makes a save that scorched to the near side boards and now out to center ice. Action starting to pick up here, and the physical intensity as well as Vail Artizone chases after the puck. Missouri State resets behind their own goaltender.
Yeah, they're trying to slow it down here. I don't think either team wants to be playing that north-south hockey we've seen for the last few minutes.
Wow, there's a hard shot that just goes wide. Well, I think Missouri State wants to play this up and down hockey. I think that's their style of hockey. Very talented offensive team, but they've been held scoreless here so far as the puck is tipped in. As soon as I say that, Anthony Shuro, Johnny on the spot, and Keelan Ulnick cleans up on the post. Boy, the Bears don't like that, but Ulnick, he's a big boy, just a sophomore, but 6'3". They list him here as 190 pounds, and he does need to put a little bit more meat on those bones to go with his height, but Keelan Ulnick is a big boy. And we're going to see how close a big boy he is because he's in the penalty box for Arizona.
And real quick, Tim, we'll have to look back at that Anthony Shuro save. That was a nice behind-the-back shot from that Missouri State player. I don't think anybody but Shuro knew where that puck was going. He was able to track it, even though I don't think the player really knew where it was going.
You know, Anthony Shuro looks like the kind of goaltender a team can ride to a championship. He really looks, as a collegiate goaltender, he really has something special going on here. He was fine last year for the Arizona Wildcats, but again, also just a sophomore. He seems to have matured so much as a goaltender.
13 minutes, 30 seconds in the second period.
So Arizona now on the penalty kill. They were able to rag the puck up the ice, and Bailey Marshall comes away with it. Oh, he's not in a position to do anything with the puck. Just 6:10 to go in the second period. Arizona on a penalty kill. Critical part of this game for Missouri State. So they've been frustrated so far, held off the board. Only one goal last night in a 6-1 loss. No goals tonight. They're down 1-0, but here's a prime opportunity. 1:23 to go on the power play for Missouri State as they set up. Move the puck around, send it to the far side circle. Now to the near side, puck goes wide. Bailey Marshall there on defense, but he can't get to the puck. Cats can't get it. Can they get it out? Marshall digs for it there, tries to poke it behind the net. He does. Can he send it? Nope. He's going to try to pin it there. This would be a good move by Arizona. But he can't pin it, and Missouri State comes away with it. They move the puck down low. Another lucky bounce for Arizona as Missouri State doesn't connect. There's a hard, high shot that doesn't connect. Missouri State moving the puck. Well, here Arizona really needs to get it out. Well, it got out of play. And we've got a whistle. I don't think this is going to be another penalty. And we'll have another face-off in the Arizona zone. Wow, Missouri State really putting on the pressure here with 37 seconds to go on the power play.
That was a really dangerous power play for this Missouri State team. They held the puck in that zone for the entirety of that power play. The Cats just could not get it out. If you want to be successful on your penalty kill, when you get that puck, it's got to be out of the zone. You can't hold on to it for, even a couple of seconds. You got to get it and then send it 200 feet down the ice.
Face off to the left of Anthony Shuro, who's had a stellar game here so far in net for the number 11 Arizona Wildcats. Remember, this is the number 9 ranked Missouri State Bears. They were ranked as high as number 6 in the country earlier in this semester. And I'm not quite sure what that sound effect was. I heard a doorbell here in the arena. I'm not quite sure what that means here on Pucks for Paws night. Maybe that was a Pavlovian response for the dogs or something, because we have a lot of dogs for the Humane Society here tonight. Arizona's able to backhand that puck out of danger. Another great opportunity there for the Bears.
Wow, Anthony Shuro with a nice stretching save, has the pads spread eagle. He's really impressing me tonight. He's really been bailing his team out all night long.
Well, this is, you make a really good point. Arizona needs to clear this puck and help their goaltender out, because Missouri State is really getting some good opportunities here. So they send it down low. Oh, I thought that was going to sneak through, and it just bounced wide. The power play is over now for Missouri State, but can Arizona get the puck out of their own end? Missouri State really coming on here as they get the puck behind the net. They're skating with some real authority here. Can Arizona get the puck out without icing it? Here's Josh Larson, who's been skating so well with the puck. He's kind of manned off of it, kind of bodied off of it, but he sticks with it. Oh, sends it right through the crease. Arizona now with the puck. 3:54 to go in the second period. Arizona nursing this 1-0 lead. You can hear the referees telling the players to move the puck, move the puck. It's in the near side corner. Trey Decker comes in to try to move it along, but we'll have a face-off. Ooh, and Decker takes a little bit of a face rub there after the whistle from Andrew Kovacic. But that's a good play by Arizona because we'll have a face-off in the Bears zone. 3:39 to go in the second period. This game has everything we would have expected in the rubber match between two top 10 level teams.
Yeah, this is everything you expect from two really good teams. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of scoring tonight. There's been a lot of physicality, a lot of intensity, and both of these teams really being hesitant, making sure that they don't make the mistake that leads to a goal.
Play back on as Carson Warnig gets the puck out of his end, and Arizona throws it right back in. Both benches standing here. We're into the last 3.5 minutes of the second period, and you can feel the tension in this building now between these two top programs. As the Cats break in over the ice, over the line, that's Chris Westland with the puck. Oh, dangerous bounce in front, but it stays out. We remain 1-1, down to 3 minutes to go in the second, and the Bears break up ice. These two teams fought incredibly in the first round of the ACHA National Tournament in Columbus, Ohio last spring. Arizona coming away with the victory then.
That's certainly the reason for this budding rivalry, maybe some of the intensity we're seeing from both teams.
Arizona then won at Missouri State earlier this year and last night. Right now, with just 2.5 minutes to go in the second period of this final game here in Tucson, they seem to have Missouri State's number, but it's just a 1-goal lead. As that puck somehow stays in, how that isn't a tripping penalty on Missouri State. Wow, I have no idea. And Missouri State's able to keep that puck in the zone, and it goes behind the net. Very dangerous right out in front. Can Arizona get to the puck? As there's a shot that goes off an Arizona defenseman, and Shuro gets it. So with just 1:58 to go in the second period, Jackson Peters is going to run down to ice level and talk to Josh Larson at the end of the second period, the Arizona player, as he leaves the ice. That's in 1:58 of game time with our own Jackson Peters. Now that will happen over on University of Arizona Wildcat Facebook page. You can see Jackson Peters and Josh Larson live. Stick around here because we'll have more interviews, highlight videos, and everything to do with University of Arizona Hockey in our video intermission between the second and third period. But again, that's in 1:50 from now of game time as the puck deflects out of play, and I think that should come out of the zone. I think they're going to keep it inside the Arizona zone on the far side dot. With 1:45 to go in the second period. Arizona so far frustrating the Missouri State Bears. And Bailey Marshall breaks up ice with Ethan Stalyuth. Marshall, can he get the shot off? He does! Bailey Marshall shoots and scores! Bailey Marshall shoots and scores! Arizona takes a 2-0 lead. 1:35 to go in the second period. Bailey Marshall buries the puck. Arizona's leading scorer had the puck on his stick, cruising down the slot, and Bailey Marshall makes no mistake. Arizona 2, Missouri State nothing. Just 1:35 to go here in the second period. What a decisive, important goal for the Arizona Wildcats.
Arizona Wildcat goal, give it to number 11, Bailey Marshall. That's Marshall, unassisted. Time of your Wildcat goal, 18 minutes, 25 seconds in the second period.
He shoots, he scores. Bailey Marshall. Cats come in looking for more. That's Trey Decker with a shot. Ooh, Ethan Stalyuth had another, or Justin Plummer, rather, had a stab at it there. Cats going for the knockout punch here with just a minute to go in the second period. After all that pressure from Missouri State, it's the Cats who get that second goal to make it 2-0 over Missouri State. What a huge goal, as Missouri State's now offside. 49.1 seconds to go in the second period. Bailey Marshall extends his lead as the Arizona leading scorer. And one of the top snipers in the ACHA and the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Now this last 49 seconds, Arizona has to make sure they do not give the momentum back to the Bears. As Ethan Stalyuth, you can hear the dogs in the background. It's Pucks for Paws night for the Humane Society. And there's hundreds of dogs in the building voicing their pleasure at the Cats' success. It's when the dogs cheer for the Cats. So we're down to the last 23 seconds of the period. Brennan Anderson tries to get the puck up ice for Missouri State. He carries it. Nice move at the blue line. Anderson over the line. Dribbles to the near side corner, however. Can Arizona get it out of the zone? Down to the last 5 seconds of the period. They can just get the puck up to the blue line. It comes in on Shuro as the whistle goes, and that's it. 2 periods of play done. It's the University of Arizona.
Missouri State with 12, Arizona with 6.
Arizona 2, Missouri State nothing. Shots on goal in that second period, 12 for the Bears, 6 for the Wildcats. Oh, we got some pushing and shoving going here over by the Missouri State bench, and a lot more than just pushing and shoving between some of the players. Some nasty stuff going on. Let's see if they can separate. Oh, these guys aren't separating yet. Boy, you hate to see that kind of stuff after the whistle blows. Looked like that might have been Charlie James in the middle of that for Arizona. Needs to have a cool head. Now he skates off the ice. We'll see if any penalties are called here at the 20-minute mark. Wow. We've got one of the coaches from Missouri State really giving some words to the referee as he's led off the ice. Coach Berman also talking with the referee. Neither side is pleased. It could be nothing's going to be called here, or they'll have offsetting penalties. No one's going to be, perhaps neither side is going to be pleased with the outcome. Well, that'll do it for 2 periods of play. I was going to say Arizona with 6 shots on goal for a total of 16 through 2 periods. Missouri State with 12 shots on goal for a total of 19 through 2 periods. A dramatic, tense game here between number 11 Arizona and the Bears of Missouri State, ranked number 9. Right now we'll go to our intermission report of highlights and interviews and everything to do with Arizona hockey. At the end of 2 periods, it's Arizona 2, Missouri State nothing. You are watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey.
Wildcat Hockey regresa a Tucson y tú puedes ahorrarte hasta 20% en boletos con los nuevos paquetes de FlexPack.
Your Arizona Wildcats.
Un acceso de 6 a 12 juegos esta temporada de los Gatos. Boletos disponibles en Tucson Convention Center o llamando el 791-4101. Apoya a su equipo esta temporada con FlexPack. Para más información visite ArizonaWildcatHockey.org.
Welcome into another Sunday special here at IcetimeHockeySW.com. As the sun sets on another mid-October day here in Tucson, Arizona, our focus today is on the University of Arizona hockey team as they claw their way up to the top of the ACHA D1 mountain again. The program, which has been around for years and has made impacts in the 80s, 90s, into the 2000s, is now back on the rise as the team enters this season with high aspirations, currently standing at 8-1-0 on the season and poised to make a run into the national tournament. Not enough though for Coach Berman and his team, they have aspirations of winning a national championship and bringing that title back here to the TCC in Tucson. So as we go, we're going to visit today with Coach Berman. We're going to visit with a couple of his players and give you a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes for the Cats to claw their way back to the top. All right, welcome into another Sunday special. This is a special one. It's one that I've wanted to do for a long time. It's talking Arizona hockey. It's talking the, what I'm calling, clawing your way back up to the top. I mean, this is a program that's a proud program. It's been around for a long time. It's been down. It's been up. It's on the rise again, and part of the reason it's on the rise is in front of me right now, head coach Chad Berman. So, Chad, welcome in.
Thank you.
It's always nice to get down here to Tucson and watch hockey. I love watching you guys. I love the spirit. When I talk to other people, they tell me the same thing, that Arizona hockey is Arizona hockey. So let's talk a little bit about this season and 7-1-0 ranking.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're 8-1-0 actually.
8-1-0,
yeah,
okay.
we don't want to throw them away yet.
Yeah,
we are in those.
All the way. 8-1-0.
You know, we're obviously really excited about our start. We thought we had a chance to be a good team, but you know, until you get into the trenches, you don't really know what you're made of from an intangible standpoint. But I think we've been tested in a lot of ways between injuries and travel and lack of ice, and so far we've been able to overcome all those things. I couldn't be happier. I mean, I think the results are the product of a lot of small details, and I couldn't be happier with the way we've handled the intangibles and the little challenges we've had along the way. I think it's a good sign for us moving forward.
So that's this year. Let's back up a step. About 4 years ago, when you and I got together for the first time, and I saw you over on campus in the rec building, and we talked, and you were taking over a program that you didn't really know what you had, right?
Yeah, just yes and no. I mean, I knew I was in for a challenge. That was 4 years ago, but it feels like I've aged 25 years since then. So I knew I was in for a challenge, especially culturally. You know, the reputation of the program before wasn't a hockey first mentality, and you know, our mentality here is school comes first, hockey comes second, and then the extracurriculars and the fun stuff that comes with being a college student. They should do that, and you know, this weekend they got off, they get to enjoy that stuff. We try to find balance, but we've kind of finally gotten this program to a spot where we're committed and all on the same page, and we come to the rink to accomplish the same things.
And accomplishing the same things right now, you guys have a goal in mind. I know that the national tournament is not just where you want to be, it's what you want to win, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. At the very least, make a run. I think, it's tough to win that tournament. I asked Coach Powers, even when some of those top teams he had, it takes more than talent. I think if you look around the league, it's kind of everybody chasing Lindenwood right now. They've been off to an incredibly impressive performance to start here. But I think if you can get to that Final Four, to those quarterfinal matchups, you solidified yourself as a top program in the country. And so we'd like to get to that point and then go from there. I think that's a reality now, and we're only going to continue to grow and build from there.
4 years ago when I founded Ice Time Hockey Southwest, one of my goals was to help increase the visibility of hockey in the Desert Southwest. That was where I was at, right? Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd see the programs build the way they are. Your program has gone up leaps and bounds. UNLV's put a program out there that's gone to D1. Grand Canyon is challenging for that level. NAU's been dominant at D2. ASU's been up and down, but they're what they are, right? They're always there, and they're always a nemesis, especially to you guys.
Yeah.
So club hockey has taken, in my estimation, over the last 3 years for sure, has taken some great strides in the Desert Southwest, and I don't think you guys are getting the credit that you guys deserve.
Yes and no. I mean, I agree. First, I hate the term club hockey. Anybody who's played with me before would agree. It just with the work that goes into this, it sounds like it's a intramural sport, and it's far from it. These guys are. We treat this program like an NCAA program. We feed them well. We take care of their travel. We push them. We expect a lot, and they're getting a tremendous education on top of it. But I think what you're seeing is the league's grown so much. The depth of this league is just so different than what it was about 10 years ago when I first got into it. And I think you're seeing more and more people are seeing the appeal to these schools out west that can provide that big school experience that you can't get at the Division III level. And speaking for myself, I went to Fredonia. I loved my time at Fredonia. It was a great place to play. I had a bunch of buddies from juniors on the team and enjoyed it. But when you come see, a place like this that you can play in front of 4,000 or 5,000 fans against Arizona State, weaving in and out of palm trees and get a business degree or an engineering degree like you can here, it really is a full package. And so I think you're seeing more of the BCHL, CCHL kids starting to realize the opportunity to get a great education, get the full college experience, and play at a very high level of hockey. And that's catching on all over. And, I'm certainly proud of our growth, but I'm also proud of the growth of the programs you just mentioned, because we're all leaning on each other to build programs so that we can have that competitive schedule and keep our travel within reason, so that we're all keeping an affordable budget and competing with those teams out east and in the Midwest who have those 2, 3, 4 hour bus trips to their advantage. We just don't have that right now, but we're hoping to continue the growth so that we can get to that point.
We need you. We need you.
We need you to support Wildcat hockey.
The Wildcats are back in action, and it's time to show your U of A pride at the TCC Arena. Please call for tickets or come to the TCC box office. U of A hockey is affordable and fun for the entire family.
We need you. We need you.
We need you to support U of A Wildcat hockey. Welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. I'm Timothy Gass, and I'm with Chris Perry, who's the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Now, this is the league that the University of Arizona competes in. It has 8 members. Arizona and Arizona State are both members of it. And Chris, for hockey fans who may not know, what exactly are the duties of a league commissioner?
A lot of people are probably asking that. I do the scheduling I do all the league scheduling. We have a 22-game schedule for each conference member, and so what I do is I get the pleasure of building that, which is kind of a pain, and then I deal with a lot of eligibility issues. I also deal with a lot of just building issues. If someone has a net, whether it's is this kid eligible, or is there supplemental discipline, or hey, I can't get to Tucson in time, can you call the coach, or that sort of thing. I handle a lot of administrative duties, so the coaches, all they have to do is focus on playing hockey.
Now, you didn't get into hockey as an administrator of a league. You actually have a history with the University of Oklahoma hockey program. So can you explain a little bit about your involvement with Oklahoma hockey and how that kind of grew into your role as a commissioner of the WCHL?
Sure. I was, for years, I helped out the University of Oklahoma hockey team. I was I wasn't there when they started. I got there about 2 months after they started, and I was a loudmouth in the crowd. They had a terrible public address announcer, and I said,
"This sounds familiar, Wildcat fans."
I said, "Any monkey can do this," and they said, "Okay, monkey, come on." So I started doing that, and then I said, "Well, geez, you guys don't have a Twitter. Well, you don't do this, you don't do that," and they said, "Can you do that?" So I, like a dummy, I said yes. So I took on more and more issues and more and more things for Oklahoma. Eventually became their general manager and did an awful lot of recruiting for them, and turned them into, I didn't, it's not me, but me and the bunch of folks that I work with turned them into a pretty, at the time they were a dominating team, a top 10 team, always going to the national tournament. And from there, it just turned into this. I wanted to get away from that team aspect, focus more on the league and the conference, and here we are.
Well, and this is important for hockey fans to remember. Teams just don't happen and roll out onto the ice. They don't just happen to have a schedule. It's guys like Chris Perry that help make this happen. It's important to understand there's a lot of people not on the bench, not in uniforms, that help make these teams possible. Let's talk a little bit about the WCHL. This is a very good league. Some might even contend the best league in Division I of the American Collegiate Hockey Association. Certainly a lot of ranked teams. Yep. And over the last couple of years, the ACHA Division I champion has come from the WCHL. Can you talk about the pride?
You keep talking. I like this. This is awesome.
Can you talk about the pride of the member institutions in this league and just how strong it is, top from bottom? This is the number 7 ranked team in the WCHL, in the standings, rather,
right? In
Missouri State playing Arizona, but still a good hockey team.
Very good hockey team. Yeah, we're very proud. The Western Collegiate League, obviously, I think it's best. There are 60 teams in the ACHA. I think you can argue that the Western Collegiate League or the Central States Collegiate League that only has 5 teams I think you can argue that we're 1 and 2 back and forth. The national champion obviously has come from our league the past 2 of the past 3 years. It's come from the Central States League the other couple of years. So we're neck and neck, and we're very proud. We have some great schools, University of Arizona, ASU, even though I know the folks in Tucson don't think ASU is a great school. But Oklahoma,
they're a good
Colorado,
hockey team, though. We will admit that they're a good hockey team.
they're a good hockey team. But we have we have name schools when you recognize Arkansas, even Missouri State, Colorado State. We're a conference of big name schools, and we're a conference out here in the West where geography is not our friend, but we figured it out, and I think we put on a heck of a show for over 22 games during a regular season, and it's the proof is in the pudding. We get to the national tournament, and not only do we win games, we win championships.
Now,
so we're proud of that.
Chris, is there a possibility to have this league turn into 2 divisions where there are more Western teams like Utah or UNLV, or more regional teams for Arizona and Arizona State that help travel for the teams that are more Western? Is it a possibility in the future
Absolutely.
to have 2 divisions in the WCHL?
Absolutely. Now, the Western Collegiate League is founded on the premise of, again, geography not being our friend, and budgets being very restricted. We have to have a travel partner. That's why UofA and ASU are travel partners. The 2 Oklahoma schools, the 2 Ozark schools that are out here in the desert this weekend, the 2 Colorado schools. UNLV is now going to be Division I. Utah is Division I. If those schools were to have a travel partner, then yes, that could possibly fit into our mix. And yes, we could then look at expansion, and then we could do possible divisions, east, west, north, south. I mean, there's a lot of variations that would further reduce the stress on teams' budgets.
So just one last question. If you had one goal for the WCHL for the rest of this season, other than to have a member win the ACHA Division I championship, but if you had one other goal for the WCHL for this season, what would it be? What is your mandate to achieve for the Western Collegiate Hockey League for the rest of the season?
Well, you took my goal, so that you knew where I was going.
Yes, the University of Arizona being the national champions. We understand that is your goal. Actually, that's our goal.
That's your goal.
That's our goal.
My goal, and it's maybe not a mandate as much, is I would like to have 6 teams in the national tournament. 6 teams out of the top 20, I think, and actually it'll be top 18 since a couple of spots will get eaten up by auto bids. 6 out of the top 20. Top 18, 1/3 of the Nationals field coming from our conference, I think would be a hell of a deal.
That would be an incredible accomplishment.
Yes.
I think this can be done, too.
Well,
I think it's very feasible, isn't it?
We just need to win a few more games here and get Colorado State to win a couple of more games and solidify their spot, keep Oklahoma from sliding, and I think we'll be okay.
We've been talking with Chris Perry. He's the commissioner of the Western Collegiate Hockey League. Thank you for joining us in Tucson and in Arizona this weekend. Thank you for your work with the WCHL. And stay with us, Wildcat fans. We'll be right back to bring you the 3rd period of this game between Missouri State and the University of Arizona. Arizona leads 5-2 after 2 periods of play. We'll be right back with more University of Arizona Wildcats hockey.
Hello, Wildcat fans. I'm Chad Berman, head coach of Arizona Hockey. I'm inviting you out for our annual Pink the Rink event. You could buy one of these jerseys and put the name of any loved one you want on the back. All proceeds go directly to the University of Arizona Cancer Center. Help us put cancer in the penalty box.
Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. Your hockey team, your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now. Welcome back to University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. I'm Timothy Gasson. I'll be bringing you the 3rd period of action along with my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. And Jackson, we were just talking about how Arizona has a 2-0 lead over Missouri State, but it doesn't seem like a very large lead.
No, it doesn't. I especially think in that last period that Missouri State outplayed the University of Arizona. Missouri State had the puck for most of that period. They had a lot of quality chances. And like you said, that Arizona goal that they scored came after a solid 5 minutes by Missouri State, where they were all over Arizona.
Yeah, that kind of domination that Missouri State had there for that 5 minutes, and I think we were saying that, even though Arizona is the one who scored the goal, Missouri State played a better period. When does that frustration manifest itself in a negative way for Missouri State? I mean, they've gone now 5 periods of hockey and only scored 1 goal against Arizona. At some point, that turns into frustration. Now, we saw a little bit of it boiling over after the whistle at the end of the second period. We'll find out if any penalties were actually assessed at the buzzer there. A little bit of discussion over by the Missouri State bench. And I was shocked and stunned that Charlie James was in the middle of that. Charlie James loves to mix it up. A very emotional player for Arizona. But so that was a little bit of the frustration. But how else can fans tell if the frustration is boiling over for Missouri State?
I mean, the big thing you could see is a lack of effort, and although that sounds a lot easier, when a team starts to give up, it's not always easy to see, but when they don't have great shots, one of the big things is, a guy takes a shot, he misses the net, makes a good save after a wide open opportunity, they'll slam their stick on the ice. There's those, easy visual cues that we can pick up on, but the big thing is when you see a team get flat-footed, you don't see them pushing 100%. That's when that frustration really kicks in, because they start to feel like they don't have enough to make anything out of it. You try so hard all game, you can't score, you can't make anything happen, so that frustration really starts to kick in, and guys just kind of, they have that motivation to just kind of give up. Well, that's a great point. When you see guys start reaching out with their stick instead of moving their feet, I mean, that could be because they're tired, too. It's the third period of the third game in 3 nights. But also, it can show a little bit a lack of intensity and effort. So, yeah, maybe instead of looking at the attitude of the team, look at the feet of the team. Are they not moving their feet? Some of the other outwardly things, as you can tell by watching benches, it's amazing how you can sometimes gauge the mood of an entire hockey team by looking at the bench. That's what was fascinating in that second period there in the last 5 minutes. The intensity of both benches, knowing how important those 5 minutes of that second period was. Missouri State threw everything at Arizona, and they're the ones who give up a goal and down 2-0. Yeah, Missouri State knows that they're giving their all here. They're really trying to, just throw everything at the net. They have so much speed coming out of the zone. They have such an excellent zone entry. The Cats just can't seem to stop them from entering the zone with such speed. So, I mean, if you're Missouri State, I don't know how you're not in the room right now. You're just super frustrated. They've been giving it their all. And arguably, I think they played the better period last period. They outshot the Cats 12-6. So, I mean, they played the better period there, but they just can't seem to find a way to put one in the back of the net.
Well, and as we said, this goes back to the national tournament game last spring. Arizona eliminated Missouri State, and there's no worse feeling than when your season is ended. Now, you made it to the national tournament, and that's great. So every team, should feel excited about qualifying for the national tournament. But a lot of teams go home in the first round, whether it's the first round or the last round. You have to have animosity towards the team that ended your hockey season, right? So that's last spring. And then earlier in Missouri, at Missouri State, Arizona tops the Bears. Last night, tops the Bears. Now we got one more period of hockey in Tucson, Arizona before an incredibly long trip, like 24 hours back to Missouri State. That's a long trip back, and if you go back after being swept, I'll bet you it seems like it's another 1,000 miles on that trip.
Yeah, anytime you lose, anything you do seems longer, especially road trips back. One of the best parts about being a hockey player, especially at this level where you travel so much, is hanging out with the guys, your teammates. But if you go home after a loss, that isn't a very fun crowd to be with. That's 30-plus guys that aren't happy with anything.
Yeah. I mean, there are few things worse than a grumpy team bus. And especially when you got like a day, 24 hours straight or 36 hours, and you're on the bus, and guys are mad, and there's nothing they can do about it until they play their next game. There's just really no way to get that taste out of their mouth until they play that next game. Well, We've got 20 minutes of hockey for Missouri State to figure out what their bus trip home is going to be like, and 20 minutes to see if Arizona goes into their semester-ending games against Arizona State on a real high, because Arizona's one period away from, at least briefly, tying for the lead of the Western Collegiate Hockey League, and most certainly heading into the top 10 of the ACHA.
Yeah, I mean, if they can walk away with a win here tonight, you know, they win all 3 games on the weekend, start to get some penalties called here.
2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct and a game misconduct. Missouri State penalty on number 12, Travis Barrett, 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 12, Chris Westland, 2 minutes for roughing. All penalties at 20 minutes of the second period.
So it looks like Arizona will come out of a power play to start this third period. We were trying to hear the penalties over the music there. The penalty call from the PA.
If you're Missouri State here, that's the last way you want to try and get back into this game, is come out and have to kill off a penalty first. But if they can kill that penalty off, I think they'll be in good shape. You know, it's still only a 2-goal lead. I know we talk about that 2-goal lead a lot, but this Missouri State team, you know, we've talked about it a lot today and yesterday. They have so many guys that can score. So if they can find a way to kill off this penalty, you know, and hopefully for them dominate this third period like they did this second, they might be able to put themselves in a good position for a scoring chance.
Well, you know, the penalty kill late in that second period was critical for Arizona. Then they scored the second goal. Well, this penalty kill from Missouri State might have the tail of the game in it. If they kill it off, they could be right back in it with one more shot. If they give up that third goal, this hill's going to be pretty darn steep for them to climb. So third period underway, Arizona with a man lead, or a man advantage here, a 2-goal lead as we head into the last period of play here. Remember, Cat fans, the last 2 games of the semester will be November 30th and December 1st, Friday and Saturday, right here at the Tucson Arena against arch rival Arizona State University, as Bailey Marshall comes away with the puck. Oh, he walked right in 5-6 feet away. It deflects to the far side boards. Arizona tries to go cross ice. Oh, it does get back to Bailey Marshall. Back to Ben Jones at the blue line. Back to Marshall. Over to Jones. Missed Cusinelli there. Nice clean sheet of ice to work with here to start this power play. Back to Jones. I'd let that rip. He does, and he sends it over to Marshall. Oh, good save there by Stevens, and another good save by Stevens. That was some nice construction there. They moved it over to Marshall, but boy, if I were Ben Jones right in the middle of the ice there, that sure was tempting.
Yeah, that was a great power play so far. They had some really great looks. I think you're right. He should have taken the shot there, but I think they got a good shot off regardless. And they're really working their points. They've got 3 guys up high, which is an interesting power play, not usually what you see. So they've got 3 guys that can really rip it from the top.
Langelaar with the puck at the blue line. He moves down to the circle. Looking weird to send it back to Manny Rowe over to the far side. Back to Rowe in the center of the ice at the blue line. Now he does like to let that go. He does. It doesn't get through though. As Max Meyer, he's taken down. That should be a penalty. Max Meyer taken down from behind. That puck's in the net. That's a goal. That puck is in the net. That's an Arizona goal. Forget calling the penalty. I think Arizona's just taken a 3-0 lead. The referee points to the back of the net. He says that's a goal. Oh, that's a goal.
I think that's going to be Josh Larson with the goal. I could be wrong, though. He did get tackled in front of the net before the celebration.
Yeah, Cat was buried there and then buried the puck. We'll have to see who gets this goal. It could also be Justin Plumhoff. I think it might be Justin Plumhoff. But we'll find out. That Wildcat paid the price. He was buried in the crease and still got the puck home. That's called crashing the goalie in the absolute best way. Wow, Arizona cashes in on the power play and goes up 3-0. What a huge effort play by the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, that is an excellent, hard-working goal to work. Put yourself in front of that in a position to score. I mean, to just work that hard to stay on top of the goaltender, stay on top of the puck, and just be able to tap it in like that. That's an excellent goal for the Wildcats.
Wait, they really took their time here to reset to go for the face-off. Interesting. But play is back on.
We'll give it to number 6, Josh Larson. The assist goes to number 19, Justin Plumoff. That is Larson from Plumoff. Time of your Wildcat power play goal, 1 minute, 41 seconds in the third period.
He shoots, he scores. So Justin Plumhoff was involved in the scoring, but Josh Larson with the goal. Josh Larson's been skating so well. Good to see Josh Larson pot a goal here as another good shot comes in on Stevens, and he fights it off. So, and the Bears go right back in the box with a cross-checking. Arizona's back on the power play. That's what the delay was. Jackson, I was wondering what it was. It was because another Bear was sent into the box. So Arizona right back on the power play. They can bury this one right now as the puck doesn't get quite through into Stevens and comes out to center ice. They score on this power play, and you might as well start warming that bus up to head back to Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah, if they find a way to score on this power play in the next few minutes, that can really, be the end of the Missouri State Bears here tonight. I mean, that'll be a huge deficit to overcome, especially when you have no goals.
Max, you're saying that they would have to score more goals than their opposition to win the game.
Yeah, well, especially with just how well Anthony Shuro's playing tonight. They haven't found a way to score tonight, so expect them to come up with 4.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. They would have to score more goals than the other. So Arizona with a 3-0 lead. We can be in such a jovial mood because Arizona's just playing so well on the power play against a very good Missouri State team. As the puck comes up the far side boards. Sent down low again. Arizona, there's Josh Larson again, camped right in front of Stevens. He's willing to pay the price to be in that scoring area as he was sandwiched there by a couple Bears. But the puck comes out. Oh, could have been a penalty on Arizona there for trying to hold up the Bear player, but nothing called as Plumhoff gets hit hard. Power play's over now. Arizona does not connect with it. So the news of the death of the Bears was premature. But they are down 3-0. And we're just, 4:12 into this third period. But I can't believe that the attitude on that Missouri State bench can be all that positive. They've been frustrated at every turn here tonight.
Yeah, they're desperate here at this point. They only have 1 goal through 2 games here in Tucson. They're all standing up on their bench. They know that this is a moment of desperation. They know that they have to find a way to make something happen. They're running out of time.
Well, and this is also the time when a young team trying to learn how to be champions, Arizona, they can't take their foot off the pedal. They can't let Missouri State back into this game. As the puck pops in on Anthony Shuro and he makes the save. There's still a very young hockey team here. They're learning how to, you learn how to lose and you learn how to win when you're such a young hockey team. In the last 2 games, boy, they looked like they were learning how to be champions. Well, guess what? You got 15:42 to go in the game. You have a 3-goal lead. Let's see how mature a hockey team they are right now.
Yeah, they're in the perfect position to end up winning this game, but can they hold this lead? That'll really prove if they're a team that can, work on their consistency that we've been talking about.
That consistency, and mentally, boy, that gives you the kind of confidence, and confidence from achievement, not confidence just to be confident. You have shown that you can do it, and you've learned how to do it. That's why these 15 minutes are so important for Missouri State, another team trying to get to that next level. What do these 15 minutes show about their hockey team? Because we're not even through the first semester yet. There's a lot of hockey to be played by both of these teams.
Yeah, for Missouri State here, this isn't the end of their season. They still have an excellent record. They're still going to be a high-ranked team.
Yeah.
But, this will allow for them in their next game to show what kind of team they really want to be. Can they bounce back from a tough weekend like this?
As the puck comes in on Shuro, and Hull is right there to clear it away. No other Bears in the area. There's a puck that's just kind of sent to center ice to the invisible man and comes right back in on Anthony Shuro. And turns into an offensive zone opportunity for the Bears.
Yeah, that just shows how important it is to make sure you see a guy before you throw it to the middle of the ice. Those blind passes are so dangerous.
Wow, and there's a screen and a tip in on Shuro. He very calmly just kind of put that aside, but for a lot of goaltenders, that could have been a juggling act, and the puck is in the net.
Yeah, Anthony Shuro just has such calmness for when a puck's bouncing around like that. That's something you love to see in your goaltender.
Now, unlike in professional hockey, we usually don't pick 3 stars of the game. But if we did here tonight and we ended the game now, I think all 3 would be Anthony Shuro.
Yeah, he's really bailed his team out here tonight. He's stopped a lot of pucks, some weird, bouncing pucks, that one earlier in the game that bounced off the back glass. He was facing the other way. He's made some excellent saves to keep his team in the game here tonight.
Play continues on as Brennan Anderson comes over the line and just leaves the puck right in the middle of the slot. Arizona tries to headman it. Here's Anthony Cusinelli with some speed. Can he get to the puck? He does, but he can't really control it. Bailey Marshall sends it down low. Cusinelli, tipped that right in front. Oh, no Arizona player there, but nice eye-hand coordination there from Cusinelli to just put his stick down and tip that right through the crease.
Yeah, such a skilled guy to be able to make a play like that.
Well, if there's one thing that Arizona has put on display here tonight, they're a very highly skilled team.
Yeah, not only that, they're a very quick team. And when you can mix, quickness and skill, you can be such a good team, especially with the way that the Wildcats combine both of those.
Bailey Marshall comes in offside. We have a whistle. He takes a bit of a hit. And now we don't want, before that bus trip back, we don't want some unnecessary ref stuff to happen. You don't want to get anyone injured. And also, if Arizona doesn't want to have anyone disqualified because their next game is against their arch rival here at the Arizona Arena, November 30th, Friday, against Arizona State. We can't afford to lose any players for those 2 big games to end our first semester here at the Tucson Arena.
Yeah, and both of these teams need to be really careful, especially if you're a Wildcat. Right now, you have to be conscious that your next game is against ASU, and you don't want to miss that. Those are the games you look forward to all year, so they have to just play smart and play safe and don't do any rough stuff after plays. That'll ensure that they just walk away from this game, no injuries and no suspensions.
Yeah, you need all hands on deck for that ASU weekend. And if Arizona can hold on here and win this game, they're up 3-0 with 12:15 to go in the game, and escape the game without injuries. They've got a nice Thanksgiving break and then another week of practice before ASU. It really sets them up for a wonderful last weekend here at the Tucson Arena. But we still have 12 minutes to go in this one. Nothing's been won yet. As the Cats go for a partial change. Dig for the puck as it comes out to center ice. Travis Barrett for the Bears, and then Nikita Salnikov digging for it, but it comes away to Langelar. And now out to center ice. Now the play just doesn't have quite the fluidity that it had just a little bit earlier. This could be the 3 games in 3 nights taking hold a little bit with 11:10 to go in the game.
Yeah, I think these guys are definitely starting to get tired. And beyond that, I knew Missouri State has to feel a little defeated. They've had a rough weekend here in Tucson. So, they might start to feel like they're already out of it. And, combined with this being the 3rd period of the 3rd game on a weekend, that they're just drained mentally and physically.
Well, the Bear bench on their feet, as the Arizona bench is. The intensity of these 2 squads is apparent. 2 very similar squads in many ways, schools that take their ACHA teams very seriously, both trying to get from that very good level into the excellent contender level. So far, Arizona looks like they're making that step up. Of course, it's a game-by-game process. You don't, you don't ascend to that level. So the puck's given away right in the slot, off the stick of Ethan Stalyuth, who already has a goal here tonight. Deflects wide. Stalyuth goes to the right in front of the goaltender. He's looking for the stick, and they get it to him, but the Bears come away with it and start to head up ice. Josh Larson had the puck briefly, as now Manny Rowe picks it up and throws it behind his own goaltender to Keelan Ulnick. I really like this defensive pairing of Manny Rowe and Ulnick. There's a lot of skill between those 2 guys.
Yeah, and especially since they're both guys that work so hard and really embody what this Arizona club is all about. They are truly Arizona Wildcats hockey players. You know, Manny Rowe, we know he's a chatterbox a little bit some of the times, but both of them just care so much about this team that I think it's an excellent pairing because you know that they're going to work equally as hard.
Your hockey team, your Cactus Cup champions, your Arizona Wildcats. Tickets for Arizona hockey are now on sale. Your Arizona Wildcats. Call 791-4101 for tickets now and support your hometown hockey team. We're more than halfway home here in the final period of tonight's game. 9:35 to go in the game. Arizona with a commanding 3-0 lead over the number 9 Missouri State Bears. If they hold on to this game, Missouri State surely will go down in the rankings, and Arizona surely will rise up in the rankings as there's a shot that goes high and up off the glass. As Dawson Marshall picks up the puck for Arizona, just sends it down low. It'll be interesting to see how far Arizona does rise. As we said, the ACHA rankings can be a little bit like reading tea leaves. I'm not quite sure what they are or how they're determined or what they mean. But you just want to be, in that top 17 or 18 to make sure you get in the national tournament. That's all that is the most important. But if you can be in that top 10, it means you get superior seeding, and if you're high enough, you avoid even playing in that first round. And that's what gives in a national tournament like the ACHA tournament those top teams that extra advantage, because in a national tournament where you're playing every day, having to play one less game really helps your path to the championship.
Yeah, especially that one extra day of rest. I mean, especially after travel. And, those are the most hard-fought games all year by every team. Every team is giving it everything they got. They know how important that is. 'Cause there's a puck that looks like it might almost slid in there, but
yeah, I wasn't quite sure where the puck was, but the net came off its pegs there. Yeah, in a tournament, just having that extra day of rest can be a difference between having any kind of juice left for those semifinal and final games. That's where Arizona wants to get back. The last time they were in a semifinal, I was with them. It was 1992 in Fargo, North Dakota. They needed one more goal. They were ranked number 2 in the country. One more goal, and they would have been in the championship game, and I'm convinced they would have won the national championship. And that's been 26 years now since we've seen Arizona back in the Final Four. And that's the level that we're trying to see the Arizona Wildcats get back to. This is still a young team, and I think a lot of people might say they're still a year away. Well, guess what? The future is not assured. They're playing very well right now.
Yeah, this is a team that makes it seem like they could be competing to be in that Final Four this year. This isn't something that they need to think about doing down the road. This is something that I think they could achieve this year.
8:14 to go in the game now. The hitting really hasn't picked up here in the third period, and things have stayed nice and clean, and that's good to see. So the puck, I think, might be stuck on the back of the net. No, it's loose and comes right into the crease, but Trey Decker picks it up and comes back the other way. I think that might be an offside. Nope. Josh Larson digs for it, but instead Hunter Saunders comes away with it and headmans the puck out to Chad Lounder.
There's a big hit on the blue line.
Arizona 3, Missouri State nothing. 7:27 to go in the game. There's a blind pass over to Bailey Marshall. Just wasn't flattening in a place where he could get it. Manny Rowe goes back for the puck there. Just throws it right back into the Missouri State end of the ice.
Yeah, and that was a nice, hard-working play by Ethan Stollies to race to that puck.
Cats come away with the puck. Poke checked away. Anthony Cusinelli sends it down low and heads to the bench for a change. Coming down to the last 7 minutes of the game. Now, Wildcat fans, stick around because Jackson Peters, the guy who thinks you need to score more goals than the other to win a game, he's absolutely right. This has been proven. Is going to head down to center ice and interview the player of the game and head coach Chad Berman. That's immediately following the game here on our broadcast on our YouTube channel. And then a few minutes after that, head over to our Facebook page for the University of Arizona Wildcats, and Jackson Peters will have the post-game press conference in the coaches' room. That's immediately following tonight's game. Now we've got a delayed penalty. Oh, and we've got some jousting going between Dawson Marshall and now some other folks. Now some hugging. Some hugging and some words. Nice crowd here on a Saturday night at the Tucson Arena for Pucks and Paws night. And hundreds of dogs, which is just great to see. It's wonderful to see. And so we had a big of a dog pile there, Jackson, on the near side boards. And there's a bear, and he still wants a part of a Wildcat as he's heading to the penalty box. That's Travis Barrett, one of the top scorers on the team, who's going into the box. And for Arizona, we'll see who's heading to the box there. Now the penalty boxes here, I think I've mentioned before, have graphics on the lower part of them on the glass. So when players sit down, you can't see who they are. But that's Dawson Marshall, brother of Bailey Marshall, in the box for Arizona. So you can't see the back of their jerseys when they sit down. That's not real useful for us. And I can't see the advertising anyway. Maybe across the ice you can see the advertising. But with 6:20 to go in this game, that's a little bit of that emotion that we were wondering if it was going to bubble up or not.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that's something that'll continue or if that'll be the end of it. Is this something that's going to keep picking up, and turn this final 6 minutes into a grueling 20 minutes for some of these guys where they're just battling after every whistle?
Well, I don't know. How much satisfaction do you think Missouri State got out of that little scrum? I mean, how satisfying is that really?
No, especially, there are times in games when fighting like that does give your team a little bit more momentum, builds up the energy. But there's not much you can do. 6 minutes, 3-goal deficit, only 1 goal on the weekend. They just cannot find a way to score on the Wildcats here. So that frustration just is going to explode.
There was a moment in last night's game where there was a bit of a physical altercation, and the Missouri State bench got very excited about that, and we thought that might spark them a little bit. This is a different situation here with 6:20 to go in the game. As now we have our trainer heading in to take a look at Dawson Marshall using the magic towel, which means there's probably a little bit of blood on the face of Dawson Marshall. That's going to be looked at there. And of course, you hate to see anyone hurt in one of these altercations. That's one of the things you want to avoid, injury. But this is a little bit of a different situation than last night, where I just don't get the feeling that Missouri State is going to get any giant rocket boost out of this altercation.
Yeah, there's not much left they can do. They've had a really hard time in Tucson this weekend, and the Wildcats have just played so excellent that they've just shut down Missouri State, even though Missouri State has had some really good looks. So if you're Missouri State here, I don't think that there's much more that you think you can do except, just kind of ride out these last 6 minutes, go home and then try and reset and come back into your next games.
Well, Missouri State did start the road trip with a victory at Arizona State, up the road in Tempe, and then came down and have just really run into a Wildcat squad, I think playing up to their potential. I think we thought that this was the kind of team Arizona had this year. We saw it in spurts at times, but at other times the play was a little bit lackluster or not completely united or connected. There's the teamwork in these 3 games has certainly been the best of the year.
Yeah, especially when you look at coming into this weekend, they were kind of relying on guys like Cusinelli and Bailey Marshall to score, and we've seen all kinds of guys score this weekend. Cusinelli came off his scoring drought. We got Plumoff scored, Stolhe scored, Decker scored. This was a team effort this weekend. It really felt like it was more than just a couple of guys putting goals in the net. The guys like Josh Larson have been working so hard to make things happen. So this has been such an excellent demonstration of what this team is capable of when they work together.
Yeah, I lamented in our broadcast, especially on Thursday night, wondering about where's the secondary scoring, the tertiary scoring for Arizona. We need more than just Bailey Marshall and Anthony Cusinelli scoring, and these three games have certainly answered that. I mean, just last night and tonight we have goals by Josh Larson, Anthony Cusinelli, Ethan Stalyuth, Justin Plumhoff, Trey Decker, Max Meyer, Bailey Marshall, and that's just tonight and last night. The scoring's been spread out amongst this lineup, and when you get into tournament play, you can't have just one line win games for you.
Yeah, because any team can shut down one line. So when you have,
Number 12, Travis Barrett, 2 minutes for elbowing and 2 minutes for roughing. Missouri State penalty on number 90, Nikita Salnikov. 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty on number 10, Dawson Marshall. 2 minutes for roughing. Wildcat penalty, number 22, Jake Dickinson. 2 minutes for roughing. All penalties at 13:40 of the third period.
So after all those minors, Arizona comes away with 1:35 left in a power play.
It's time for a Wildcat. Hogan.
As they work the puck down low, comes up the near side. But Missouri State's going to be able to carry this out of the zone. 5:40 to go in the game. Arizona 3, Missouri State nothing. We knew this game would be intense. I didn't think we'd be talking with 5 minutes to go in the game, and Missouri State scoreless on the scoreboard, however. So Arizona comes in over the blue line, feathers it through to Cusinelli, but the puck just kind of bounced, wouldn't stick to his stick, and comes right back down to Shuro.
Yeah, coming into this weekend, Tim, we knew that this Wildcat hockey team was a good team, but I don't think we knew that they were this good of a team. They've really shown how much skill and potential they have to be a championship team.
Cats keep the puck in the offensive zone. 5 minutes to go now in the game. 38 seconds to go. There's a nice tip by Josh Larson. Doesn't connect, however. Cats keep it in momentarily now. Missouri State's going to go pick it up. Derek Smith sends it high up off the glass. Now a Bear comes in 1-on-4. That's Sasha Perron. The Cats take it away. 15 seconds still to go on the power play. Manny Rowe over the line with some speed. Manny Rowe sends it down low. And they find Langelier on the far post. They do, and he just tips it wide. Oh, you could see them looking up and looking for Langelier on the post there, and they got the puck there, but not quite home as the power play's over, and the Bears have iced the puck.
So, Tim, I'm interested to see if, that rough housing we saw a little bit earlier, if that's done. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of big hits anymore, but there are still 4 minutes left in that game, and as the game really winds down and Missouri State it really sets in that they, are going to go home with a 1-2 record on the weekend if they're going to show a little bit more anger and frustration.
This seems like a very well-coached Missouri State team. I'm going to bet that we're not going to see any of that kind of stuff, as there's a nice, beautiful redirection there by Bailey Marshall right in on Stevens. But Stevens makes the save, and here comes Missouri State back the other way with some speed. Puck is right in the slot. There's another great save by Shuro. Johnny on the spot. Anthony Shuro having one of his best games in uniform for the Arizona Wildcats. But I'm going to guess we're not going to see any of that stuff, because I get the idea that everything that this Missouri State team does, it's for a reason, and the reason has to do with winning hockey games. I have a lot of respect for hockey teams who play that way.
Yeah, this team has been, has shown so much discipline. I mean, even in those scrums, they haven't reacted too much. There's only been 1 or 2 altercations that I think maybe got a little bit out of hand, but they really know how to, keep a tight ship.
Well, and there were reasons for those scrums, at least in the hockey terms, when they happen. You don't like to see high sticks. You don't like to see things that could injure players. But you could at least understand why those things were happening. There's no real reason now other than to be a selfish hockey player and mix something up at this point with just 3:20 to go in the game. Arizona with a 3-0 lead. Missouri State looking to get on the board. Moving right down the slot, and that goes high and wide. Wow, you had a player able to move into prime scoring position. He threw the puck wide.
even late in this game, Tim, when Missouri State's essentially out of it, they're still getting a lot of good scoring chances.
Well, stranger things have happened. 3 minutes to go. It is a 3-goal lead, and not that dangerous 2-goal lead. But 3 goals is a lot in less than 3 minutes to go. Now remember, stick around. Jackson Peters will head to center ice and talk to Coach Berman and the player of the game immediately after the whistle blows here. As the puck comes right back into the crease again. Can Arizona get the puck out of the zone? 2:35 to go. So it comes in. Shiro sees it all the way and loves it. You know, again, if Coach Berman allows you to pick a player of the game, please pick Anthony Shiro.
He's been so excellent tonight. I mean, he has, I think he's the biggest reason that they're ahead 3-0. I mean, he's just kept the confidence of this team. You can see these players, they don't get too worried when a guy gets a good scoring chance off because they're expecting Shiro to save it just because of how good he's been tonight.
There were times in both games, both last night and tonight, when Missouri State was really coming on and Arizona needed the goaltender to make a play. Anthony Shiro made every single one of those plays, which is, you know, rather amazing when you're playing a highly ranked, talented hockey team, that they don't get one of those plays that they need. Down to the last 2:10 of the game, Missouri State working hard here to score a goal. And we have a delayed penalty on the Arizona Wildcats, so they're going to have an opportunity with 2 minutes to go, 2:01 to go in this game. They're going to have a power play. And that's another thing that can keep some of the extracurricular stuff down. The team that's down having a power play at the end of the game, a lot less motivation to start up some of that other stuff and instead try to get a goal.
Yeah, I think this puts them, you know, I mean, it'll be definitely tough to score 3 goals in 2 minutes, but if they can get a goal here, it might give them a little bit of confidence headed out of this game, you know, to finally capitalize, you know, after they dominated the second period and had a lot of good chances.
19. Justin Plumhoff, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of that penalty, 17 minutes, 59 seconds.
Yeah, losing is bad, but it's an awful taste to go on the road, especially this far away from home, and get shut out. Yeah, there's something to be gained to show. I mean, this is such a highly scoring team as the puck comes out to center ice. That was a good stick there by Bailey Marshall. They score so much that this has got to be real foreign mental territory for them to score so little against the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, it's got to be a crazy thing for them, especially when we talk about how good of a road team they are. You know, last night being the first regulation win they have on the road. So for them to just not be able to score the way that they're used to must be real tough for them.
Okay, Jackson, we'll see you at center ice immediately following the game. We have 1:22 to go in the contest. Arizona with a 3-0 lead over Missouri State as they remain on the power play for another 1:14 until there's 1 or 2 seconds left in the game. So this is a good opportunity for Arizona to work on their penalty kill. Now for Missouri State, since this isn't a major penalty, it's not like they can keep scoring goal after goal with the man advantage. If they score one, the player comes back on the ice. But they do want to score that one goal. There's a wraparound attempt, and Anthony Shiro so quick to get from post to post there. Oh, he moves, that's a beautiful goal as he moves to post, from post to post and makes the save. And Missouri State remains scoreless. 53.8 seconds to go in the game. Arizona with a 3-0 lead. They're looking to sweep Missouri State and at least take a tie for first place in the Western Collegiate Hockey League. And most assuredly will go up into the top 10 of the ACHA National League. 39 seconds to go in the game. Puck comes back into the Arizona zone. That's Cam Armstrong digging for it, trying to freeze the puck, but it squirts loose. Bear comes away with it. Sends it up to Patrick Johansson. Check that. Comes around the boards up to the far side. Attempt to move it down low. Langelar is going to dig for it there along with Johansson. The Cats able to get it out? No. Good play there by Missouri State to keep it in. And a point-blank shot on Anthony Shiro with 0.9 seconds to go. That's the cherry on top of the cake because he makes the save with 0.9 seconds to go. We'll have one more face-off. PA announcer's already announcing the shots on goal, but we have one more face-off, one more puck drop, and that's it. Arizona sweeps Missouri State.
Missouri State with 13, Arizona with 9.
So Arizona sweeps Missouri State by a score of 3-0. Last night they won 6-1. The number 11 Wildcats surely are going to go into the top 10 of the ACHA in this next weekly poll. 3 incredibly well-played games by the Arizona Wildcats. They defeat Arkansas 7-1 Thursday night. They win 6-1 over number 9 Missouri State last night, and 3-0 a shutout for Anthony Shuro here tonight against Missouri State. Wow, this is the best the Wildcats have played this season, and just in time, ASU comes to town on November 30th, Friday, and Saturday, December 1st. Our broadcast will start at 7:20 both nights, but we want you here at the Tucson Arena to see Arizona take on their arch rival. Remember, we're competing for the Cactus Cup. Arizona already has a couple wins in that competition. They won't be able to secure the Cactus Cup if they win both games, but they'll be just one win away from securing the Cactus Cup if they win both of those games. But first things first, they got to play Friday night the 30th. In a moment, we'll hear from Jackson Peters at center ice, and then I'll have my quick post game. So, Arizona defeats Missouri State 3-0. This is one fine college hockey team we have at the University of Arizona. So, let's send it down to center ice and Jackson Peters.
Hi, I'm Jackson Peters, and I'm joined here by goaltender Anthony Shuro. Now, Anthony, first shutout of the season. I'm sure you're excited about that, but more importantly, you're walking out of the weekend with three wins. You know, this could help you move up in the ACHA rankings. How good does it feel to not only have a shutout, but to also have 3 wins on the weekend?
It feels good, especially beating that team. It's another rivalry like ASU. Top 10 team that we swept this season, so it feels really good.
Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate it. Great game tonight. And now I'm joined by head coach Chad Berman. Now, Coach, I mean, we talked a little bit last night. You said there were a few things you could tweak to try and improve. Were you happier with your team's performance tonight?
I mean, I'm always going to leave here on the mic and tell you we could do something better. So, you know, Churo was unbelievable tonight. When you got a goalie rock solid who can hold you down, that's what championship teams need. They need people to step up when you're not your sharpest. You got to find ways to win. You know, when you're in a game of that magnitude and your goalie steps up and we can shut out the visiting team, that's a heck of a sign for us moving forward.
Yeah, and we talk about the magnitude of that game. Arguably, that is those 2 games against Missouri State are the 2 biggest games of this semester. You know, obviously it's important to win those games, but how do you think that's going to affect your team moving forward, especially into the next 2 games against ASU?
I think those are character-building wins. This is my 5th year. I've been waiting 5 years to get to that top 10 for all the people who come to our game. So that's for you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Come out for ASU. It's going to be another good one.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win. For those of you joining us on the YouTube feed, I'll send it back to the booth with Tim Gasson. For those of you in the building, we hope you can join us on November 30th and December 1st as these University of Arizona Wildcats take on the Arizona State University Sun Devils.
Thank you, Jackson. So the Arizona Wildcats down the Missouri State Bears by a score of 3-0. The Wildcats improved to 14-3 on the season. The Bears dropped to 14-4-3 on the season. Arizona currently ranked number 11, but they're surely going to rise into the top 10 this next week. And then November 30th on Friday, they'll take Arizona State on here at the Tucson Arena. Saturday, December 1st, they'll end the first semester of play against the Arizona State University Sun Devils. Those should be whales of game. Those are always the most important hockey games in Tucson, Arizona in any year, Arizona and Arizona State. But this weekend couldn't have gone any better than for the University of Arizona. They sweep Arkansas and then number 9 ranked Missouri State in convincing fashion. This is the best that the Arizona Wildcats have looked in several years, the highest ranking that they've had in the Chad Berman era. They're certainly showing that they're growing. A very young Wildcat squad are growing into a championship caliber squad. So I want to thank our entire University of Arizona Hockey media crew and my broadcast partner, Jackson Peters. Once again from Tucson Arena, it's Arizona 3, Missouri State 0. We will see you here back at the Tucson Arena on Friday, November 30th against Arizona State University. You have been watching University of Arizona Wildcat Hockey. Bear down.
Thank you for watching University of Arizona Wildcats Hockey. Visit our website at arizonawildcathockey.org, and we'll see you at the Tucson Arena for the next Arizona Wildcats home game.